I've got two canvases here. It's late at night, and I am going to try to re-pour over them with the paint. It's been a while. I've been trying to get this paint right. This was pretty good paint. It just isn't something. It was just something that I was experimenting with that didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to. Same with this one. These are only 10 inch. You're going to get 12 inch. But so I've got 4 ounces of white paint in here. I'm going to do 2 different kinds of things and see how well they turn out with the paints that I'm giving you. So this is the bottom of these 2 that I'm going to try to use about half of the paint in it. I'm going to walk away while I move this around and get 2 extra cups for doing the next 2 paintings in. And I'm trying to move it around as I go. So I've got 2 extra cups here. And for these 10 by 10s, I'm using almost the same amount as I'm giving you. I think I've got 3 ounces of all the colors instead of 2 of each. I'm going to move this around with my hands, covering the canvas. So these were very thin pours. The ones that I have been doing were really thick, and I don't care for them too much when they dried. So I had to get the formula right before I give you any of the paints. I don't know what had happened, whether somebody changed the consistency of something I was putting in, like the consistency of the different kinds of paints that I use, because they do that. They sometimes thin them out or do something crazy to try to make their dollars stretch. I guess it's good business, but not good business when it messes up the artist. Trying to, once you figured out what you have to do to have the formula of what they're putting in their paints changes. Not my idea of business, good business sense. I have a wet rag today that I've been using. This has some stuff in it. I'm going to put silicone in these and see how that turns out today. Sometimes silicone doesn't hold up as good when you stir it a lot. Oh, that one got 3 drops, but with silicone, you kind of just barely get it stirred in there. So I've already tested these to do just the pour. Okay, I'm going to start out with a little white in both of them. And I'm going to let that coat the bottom. And then this one, this is going to be, I'm going to go backwards, and I'm not going to put white in between them. I'm just going to go with the color until after the red to see how nicely they stay separated. The other one I'm going to do a little different, so I guess I'll do one at a time, considering it's hard to do two at a time. So the red might turn out a little pink. The blue might have light and dark blue in it. I'm trying to only go down a little bit because I used to the top for a 12-inch canvas, and I don't want to leave as much paint. Okay, I'm going to leave that for the other painting and for going around the edges. So I think this is a 5-ounce cup. If I get it to being 3 ounces, that's going to be good. 4 ounces is to the top of the rims. I'm going to skip the white going out the sides. One, two. And I've said before, you put paint in there and wipe it off, and look at that. That wasn't supposed to do that. So I'm going to pour it in the center and do a wiggle maybe. I'm going to do it different than one of the other ones that I better go slower because this is pretty thick paint. And it's doing its own thing. What this might do is put some colored feathers in it. We'll see if it works the way I'm hoping it works. I don't talk much when I'm trying to concentrate. So this is going to be a bit boring because I don't even know if I'm going to put this on for anyone to watch. But if I do, at least it's not dead silence, right? And I don't know how to put my voice over top of it yet. I'm hoping to someday figure that out. Okay. I'm letting it just sit. It's mostly yellow coming out right now. Okay. So, and as you can see, it's a little lopsided. So, I'm going to wiggle it and bring it over here. And I'm really sorry if you don't have a torch, but I'm going to torch mine because there's bubbles and I got to pop the bubbles. Not touching the paint again. I'm up away from it. Sometimes I'll go like this if I see a bubble that's giving me a hard time to get it to pop. You could pop your bubbles by using your stick. I think I'm going to give you 3 sticks so that you have one for each. Well, maybe I should do 4, huh? For each color, so you have a stick for your white. So I'm going to let this sit. Maybe I'll stretch it just a little bit to start with. And it looks better. What I added this time looks better than the other one did. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I might even wreck this, and you'll see what I mean by wrecking it, just to show you another option than what I've posted earlier. Of course, all my earlier posts will be sometimes if you move the paint to the very end, it works good stretching it out on the opposite side. And it keeps the paint flowing out on all sides instead of going from corner to corner. So after I get this stretched just a teeny bit more, I'm going to stop and do the other one. And let this sit and see if there's anything that comes up. I'm trying to get it about even. And then I'm going to center it. I love it. The colors are very vibrant. And I put the white in the center because it was the last color I put into the paint. So that's going to sit. I'm going to layer these. I'm going to do this red, yellow, and blue. Well, the white and then red, yellow, and blue. Red. Yellow. When you do these, you have to make at least 2, if not 3 layers of the different colors of paint for them to come up off of the canvas inside of each other. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get with this one. I'm trying to get the colors to come up inside each other. And it's pretty thick. It's the 3-second thick. And it worked good, not putting white in between all of these. And so I'm hoping it'll do the same with this. So I'm layering upon layering upon layering. And I'm doing red, yellow, blue. I'm only going to do it one more time because we're getting almost to the top. Where it's 3 ounces. I'm not saying the top of the bottle, but I mean of the little lines that are in it would make it 4 ounces. And so I think we've already got 3 ounces in here. So a little white here. I'm going to put a little white in the center of this one. Okay. And this is just called a plain old flip cup. Ready? I usually count because I've always been that way. Okay, 1. Okay, there's going to be a little bit out, which is fine. I'm trying to find, there it is, my wet rag. Okay, now that I've got that started, I'm going to see if there's a little bit more of my paint in here. I'm going to give you 4 ounces. I only had like 3 ounces in here for both paintings. So 3 ounces and 3 ounces is only 6 ounces. You're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 ounces of paint. So you're going to have plenty. And I'm going to leave just a little bit of this for the other painting. And I'm going to stretch this again. And please, if God is over my paints at all, let this be where it doesn't crack. And I'm ready to do this. I haven't had cracking in over a year until my one other geode that I had ended up cracking where there was a lot of white, or white underneath. And there's white underneath this again, but I'm hoping that what I'm doing is going to... Okay, now that I've got this turned like almost to the edges, I'm going to wreck it. They call it wrecking it. What I'm going to do is pull it through here. Just take one of the sticks. Might as well use my white one. No, I got to keep that. Let's use one of these old sticks I got stuck here. Take some of the dried up paint off. Okay, so here goes nothing. All right. So I'm going to pull it through here. Maybe 2 times. That's once. I'm going to wipe that off so don't put mud in the painting. And I'll make a thing here. And over here, I've got something there. I don't want to wreck that too much, so I'm going to go around it. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn around and go back this way. Which now, because I didn't wipe it, I got a little something in there. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to go back this way. And back this way. Okay, so that's my little wreck. And let's see what happens, okay? I'm going to start going to one side. And with me, I don't see where I've got any negative space, so I'm going to get cardboard. I don't know where my small things of cardboard are, but this will work fine. And I'm pushing it up against here. If you have any kind of cardboard that you want to use. So I'm letting it pool and draw down. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to push it back in there and let it fall off the edge. Okay. Same thing here. Let it fall. Pull it down this way. Changes the composition a little bit. Okay, I'm getting to the edge. I'm gonna let it fall, and then I'm gonna tip it back that way. Getting the paint towards the center instead of on this edge by keeping it tilted. So if you don't have the cardboard I've got, you're going to come up with something better, probably. I just didn't want to waste my paint since I didn't feel like I have too much of it compared to what you're going to have. I might let some white just stay there for negative space, and so that I can get a better look on some of it. Okay, my thumb can go here. Not too much dry space on here to hold. Okay. I'm getting paint falling off the edge where I'm at. Okay, I'm letting it run as fast as it can. And I'm trying to squiggle wiggle as I go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. All right. Part of that was me and part of that was what I was trying to do. Worked out fine. I've got a few drops of paint I'm going to use to dip it in and pull it. It's kind of like a pulling motion. You can pull the paint if you just barely touch it. Touch it and pull it, touch it and pull it over the corners. I'm doing the same here. I'm gonna get this. This other painting's probably doing fine on its own. We'll soon see in a minute. There's probably paint underneath. Oh yeah. I'm going to turn this around. Even though I'm going to get my fingers all wet again, paint again, I'm going to pick this up and turn it so I can see this side. Okay, so what you do with these is you put your finger underneath, pull out a bunch of paint. I think I'm going to take some Dollar Tree tablecloths, cut them so that you have a nice plastic area to paint on underneath. Okay, now I'm wetting my fingers. We're going to see how this is turning out, if the silicone did anything. Okay, you ready? All right, what I like to do is pick it up and move it around. Okay. Then we let that sit. I'm flipping this upside down. I'm going to flip this upside down too. We might have little rounds of something. But without even putting any silicone on it, it's starting to get the little dots. So letting it sit for just that little bit of time while I did the other painting. So if you let it sit for a few minutes, it's going to develop round circles where you're getting different colors popping up. Okay? The more you let it sit, you can let it sit too long. I wouldn't let it sit more than like 5 minutes to get more bubbles coming up. When I stretch it, I'm getting rid of some air bubbles. You can see a bunch of them just popping when I put some heat on it. Now underneath this paint almost looks like it's starting to crack already. Of course, this is the old paint. I'm sorry. This is the old paint. And it shouldn't have had any, I shouldn't have put any dimethicone in it. And I think I did. But still, with dimethicone, I don't see why it would do that. I really don't. Because you can or you don't have to put any silicone or something like that in it. You really don't have to do it, but you could. And white shouldn't react like what I'm getting. So pretty sure it's the paint. And it's the other things that I used, a different formula of medium to make it fluid. So, that being said, I like this. It looks pretty good. I might turn around and get rid of the empty spaces though. So just, wrecking it just causes different interest. It won't make it be a geode. Or like if you don't wreck it, there's a good chance for it to look like it's a natural stone. I gotta move that other one in just a minute. Huh. There comes the paint. The paint's moving now. I'm trying to push that off the edge. There it comes. It takes patience. Patience, patience, patience. And it looks pretty cool. It's being stretched out. And once I get this off the edge, I'm going to stretch it back a little bit. There it goes. There it goes. Nice. All right. Nice. I'm going to just dab that after I get it back this way a little bit. So we're going to get green mixed in with the yellow, the blue and the yellow mixing together. I'm taking it from the bottom. I'm going to dab it here and here and let it fall. Okay. And when all is done and said, when you're done moving it around before you come back, if you're going to play in it, more than, covering the sides, you're going to want to go get your hands all washed off if you're not wearing gloves. I don't know where to find gloves for children, tell you the truth. And honky gloves on a hand are very klutzy, clumsy. As you can see, I'm losing some of the cool cells. I'm making some of them too long instead of keeping them round. Some people try to make sure they stay round. Me, if they get a different shape to them, you get different kinds of characters or something in them. Like you might see while I'm even moving this, birds, different kinds of things that look a little more like a bird or an animal, some kind of creature. I'm going to stop it from going off the edge, and I'll pick up some of the drippings. You know what? I'm going to get my cardboard again because this works good with cardboard. And I've got packing stuff. Yeah, these were in a package that my daughter got in the mail, and she didn't want them. She was going to throw them away, and I thought to myself, well, I use cardboard all the time to try to keep things from losing all my paint, and I could use them. And she's like, take them. Take them, throw them away, do whatever you want, right? So this is the dirty flip cup, okay? That's what this one is. The other one was, I kind of like, went in and out with when I was pouring it. And the one thing about this too is you can move the paint by moving it like this, and then it goes a little faster. But this way I get the, I boo-booed. I fix it later, maybe I can. Okay. I was trying to get the paint to fall towards me before I put it over the edge here. Trying to cover up that one spot of the white that is drying for some reason. And now I'm letting it roll down towards me, and then I'm gonna also help it by moving it up the canvas and over this way again. So they say that if you're more patient with the movement of it, you'll keep the shape of roundness in it. I've never experienced that unless I put way too much paint on. And if you've got the paint formula correct, it's not too hard to do that. And you can keep the circles. I don't keep the circles usually, but I'm telling you how you can maybe keep them. And I'm going to go off the edge.